Everyone talks about self-love. I always say you're miles away from self-love. Let's start with self-like. So how do you begin to like yourself? Well, you begin to like yourself when you begin to trust yourself. And you can only trust yourself when you know yourself. And you only begin to know yourself when you start asking questions, when you start seeking the truth, when you fall in love with truth. Okay, so confidence of self is beginning to know who you really are. What are your values? What do you stand for? Okay, you have to get clear on what you stand for. If you don't know what you're standing for, you'll fall for anything, right? If you don't stand in your truth, you're going to be betraying yourself. So you have to get to know yourself first. Then you get confidence of self. Then you start to think, this is who I am. Confidence of self means I don't need to convince you of anything. I don't need to convince the world of who I am. I know who I am. You should know who you are in you. I know who I am in me. Do you know who you are in you? And I remember when I didn't know who I was, you're always trying to convince everyone of who you are. And you're trying to convince yourself of who you are. But if you don't have that clarity and that truth, you're falling into someone else's lane. You're trying to build a house on someone else's land. You have to find out, what's my land? Okay, where am I supposed to build? What am I supposed to build? Who am I?